All right, we are broadcasting.
Okay, here we are. We're calling Tuesday, July 14th, 2020 council meeting via Zoom to order. Margot, Kate, take it away.
Do we want to begin with a moment of silence, Council President?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot about the roll call. So we're going to start off with a moment of silence. And now we're going to sit for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all.
Okay, there are no items on the consent agenda, so we'll go right into public hearing. Please be aware that public comment during the public hearing portions of tonight's meeting will be moderated through the Zoom app. At the appropriate time, members of the public wishing to speak should indicate so by raising your hand in the app. You can find the raise your hand icon at the bottom left side of your screen. I'll now open up the floor for a public hearing on any matter. When it's your turn, the moderator will send a signal through the app and ask you to unmute yourself so that you can be heard. Kindly state your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. Be advised that any derogatory comments targeting members of council and/or administration may be ruled out of order. Ms. Barrick, do you see any hands up?
I do not.
Okay, with that, we will close the public hearing. Council President Armington?
Great, thank you. I assume there's no council responses to the lack of public comments. Moving on to the report of the mayor and town officials.
Okay, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Just a couple of things. One is everybody has seen the new executive orders that have come out from the governor's office. One specific one that is new is the masks. So it is posted on the website, Instagram, and Facebook. I suggest you share it with your email chains, your constituents on when it is appropriate to have a mask on. And there are exceptions to not wearing masks and when that is acceptable. Second thing is the last few weeks we've been working on trying to communicate to the public about runners running in our downtown. It's really not a good thing for people jogging through people that are eating dinner or lunch on South Street. I did have a conversation with the sports doctor today, one of the top ones in this area, and just to pick his brain a little bit on the do's and don'ts of how running affects and even walking affects people that are in places where they're eating. There's a study in Belgium that talks about the after effect of, because runners breathe much more heavier and they exert much more air, how much of a trail and what the footage should be when you're behind, more directly behind a runner. And it's more than 6 feet. It should be a minimum. Athletes should be at least 12 feet apart when they're working out and exercising. However, that's really the goal was to try to get the message out to runners not to run in our downtown, in the central business district during dining hours, because it's just not a healthy thing for the people that are sitting there eating, having somebody jog through. I spent some time today on South Street observing runners still running down the sidewalk, but I spent a little time before I came to Town Hall tonight, and it seemed that there were a few runners that weren't. They did bypass going through the sidewalk, so hopefully the message is getting out. The legal department is researching executive power on banning joggers in their central business district. I have not done that. I'm working on trying to get the communication out before we do that. But we think I think it's a safer option for the people that are dining in or outside to not have runners running through the tables as they're eating. you would think that it would be just the obvious thing to do, but it tends not to be all the time. So right now we're going to keep trying to get the message out. And if you guys could help, that would be really appreciative of getting it out, not to just run down Maple Avenue instead of South Street. There's plenty of parks. There's plenty of places to run in Morristown without running through the business district. At 3:30 today, I observed a guy running with people outside Swiss Chalet running past one way and then coming right back and running past all the people sitting there. Again, it's just unhealthy for the people sitting there. So I'm not trying to make it difficult for people going out to eat, but we really don't want people running through people dining. That is my main focus for this week, and if you can help, I would appreciate that. Secondly, I'm pretty sure that I'm not sure if we had a meeting. The Clean Juice is open. We did the opening for Clean Juice. It's been a lot of people getting healthy juice, which is always good. The businesses are open. The outside dining seems to be working for a lot of establishments. The DPW did a great job with the Jersey barriers. We appreciate the businesses working with the town to make sure that happens, to give everybody a fighting chance to try to make some money. We want to continue to get the message out that the small businesses are open 50%. So people should, if they can, patronize the small soft retail in the downtown. There's plenty of places open. And it is still a financial struggle for these small businesses. And as long as this goes on, it's going to get tougher and tougher. Other than that, the town's doing appointment only. We are gearing up to have a slow, Jillian and I met today about a slow opening. She wants to give a detail. She can. It'll be at the end of the month, the last week of July, I believe. Monday and Tuesday afternoons, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday mornings, 3 hours each day. The building is open all day to appointment. If you want to make an appointment, you can. You'll be checked at the door. We're going to be taking your phone number, email, address, and taking your temperature for contact tracing, as we're doing already. Other than that, the only other thing I want to put on everybody's radar, as I've done for the last 12 years, or at least 10 as mayor and some as council. We saw the rain. I was actually out of town when the rain hit that Monday, I believe it was. To get 3 inches of rain, maybe more, close to 3.5 in an hour, is a lot of rain. And I'll continue to talk about this over the next several months, as I have over the several years. That climate change, whether you believe it or not, these are the types of storms that we get now, and that we have to start preparing for those types of storms, whether it's looking at our engineering of our sewers, looking at how we can better maintain water flow, all these different things. So we are internally talking about that and looking at ways that we can improve that on our streets. And really that's about it, other than just the everyday stuff that we deal with. And the town is moving along. Some areas of the town are very slow and some are very busy. So just your help in a couple areas would be appreciated. That's it.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple follow-up questions. With the county's work on the sewer system on Morris Street in front of the proposed M station, did that area flood, or was that area okay?
The area I think that got hit the worst, and Jillian, you can back me up, that was Elm Street, or was the bottom, not Elm, Pine and King.
Pine and King.
Okay.
Yeah, that was where it got really hit. But we've had that issue before. What I found interesting for the council, and this is important too, to Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
in the second ward, they didn't have an issue with water rise in Bishop Nazareth Way or in the area over there. And I think the field was fine, all by the pool. There was no issues with the river, which I thought was good news.
Yeah.
I think that redoing that bridge on Ridgedale has helped keep that water moving. And So, but it turned out that the King and, as a matter of fact, I was with a homeowner today at Town Hall getting information because the fire department had to pump out his basement. So there was a lot of water. I wasn't here, but I heard the water was.
Yeah, Mayor, that Pine and King, that happens even with a light rain.
Yeah.
So that's been a consistent problem, and the homes there have problems. And also, is it possible, there was a lot of trees that came down, and we're going to be picking those up at curbside? 'Cause I
Yeah,
noticed we have a lot of debris on curbs.
Yeah, I had one come down in my backyard, and I lost a big chunk of wood off the house.
Yeah. But are we picking up, Jillian, around the neighborhoods, the
Yeah.
trees?
we're working on picking up trees around neighborhoods. If there's debris from the storm that hasn't been picked up, please forward it to me and we'll make sure that it gets addressed. I know
And
the
is
brush
the-
collection isn't scheduled until August, but we are going to address the debris that came down as part of the storm.
And any plans to reopen up the reclamation center so people can drop some of that debris themselves off?
To reopen,
Reclamation center?
you're talking about Lake Road?
Yeah, Lake Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lake Road is open.
It
Yeah.
is open?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Bob
maybe
uses the
because
fancy
people know
word.
that they can actually bring the stuff themselves to Lake Road.
Yes, Lake Road is
Yeah.
open.
Bob,
It's not open
you
Sundays
put a
and
good,
Mondays.
I like the new term, Bob, use a reclamation center. I like that.
Yes,
I like that.
yes, Lake Road is open. And
I thought that was the name
got you.
all these
Uh,
years.
And just so everyone understands, the King and Pine Street area is part of the drainage study that Mazur's been working on with the engineering department.
Right.
So I expect at the end of that process, we'll have some capital projects for some drainage improvements in that area probably for next year.
Just one other comment or recommendation. You might reach out to the organizers of some of the running races in town and have them send out to their groups
Yes.
about the running.
Yes, Chris Russo from Superheroes, the marathon guys who run all the races. We did a post. We did a post together 2 weeks ago in front of, and a matter of fact, in the middle of Sterling Tavern on the sidewalk, and he is out adamantly pushing his runners. Listen, I get it. South Street, there's a lot of people. People like to run where there's people, and but in this COVID-19 era, I think it's better that we try to push them down to Maple or go, outside the central business district. Listen, if you're early morning or late evening, and it's early in the week and the Sunday, there's nothing going on downtown, it's different. But when like if you walk downtown right now, there's a lot of people in the downtown, a lot of people. And I am getting emails asking me to tell people to wear masks. So we're going to push that. And hopefully we've been talking about it enough that people are smart enough. It's one of the things Cuomo says all the time, let's be smart. And being smart is wearing a mask. That's our vaccine right now, is a mask. Until they come out with something that protects us, the best thing we can do for ourselves is wear a mask.
All right, thank you, Mayor.
I would like to ask a question, follow-up question on the opening to the public of the town offices. I received some messages of people that want to go and get an ID, the municipal ID, and they said that right now that's not being done.
We're
So my
actually
question-
restarting that process next week as well.
Okay,
So we'll make sure to get that information out to everyone. We
yes,
will start
thank you.
taking appointments for municipal IDs, yes.
Yep. Thank you, Councilman.
They can call Caitlin in my office to schedule the appointments as they were doing before.
Great. Any presentations and reports? I assume none? No?
I just want to report something from MHA.
Oh, okay, yeah. Go ahead. Councilor.
Yes, Section A was open, the wait list was open on May, and 250 to 300 applicants received notification. They are being vetted by outside third party to ensure that the applicants meet criteria. Preferences will be given to the Morristown residents first, then applicants who work in Morristown second, and others then. Additionally, the MHA opened the family housing wait list, Manhattan Village, at the end of June, and they have received 430 applications. and they are currently undergoing the vetting through the same HUD approved third party that is doing the Section 8 vetting. That's all from MHA.
Any other council liaison reports?
The partnership did meet last week. Actually, the mayor covered a lot of the topics, and they're still struggling with the not the outdoor dining. That seems to be working very well. Very appreciative of the administration's support, specifically Jillian helping us move that along. That all said, they're really very, very anxious to see when they can start expanding some of their dining options.
Yeah.
They're struggling, and it's sad. But that's all.
Thanks, Bob.
And the Morristown Parking Authority meets on July 21st.
The Shade Tree Commission is having some continuing education. We're doing it on Saturday in conjunction with the Friends of Foots Pond, the Burnham Park Association, and Kathy Margiotti of Adopt a Spot. It's training for identify invasive species training, and it's happening at Foots Pond on Saturday morning for us.
What time is that?
It starts at 10.
All righty. Let's move on to regular business. There are no ordinances for introduction.
That is correct. There are 3 ordinances for public hearing and adoption. Ordinance number O-21-2020, an ordinance of the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, state of New Jersey, for compensation for management/non-union positions in the town of Morristown, New Jersey, and amending all ordinances concerning such compensation heretofore adopted. May I have a motion to adopt, please?
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-21-2020.
I'll second.
I'll now open it up to the public for comments, questions on ordinance O-21-2020.
Council President, I don't see any hands raised for public comment.
Close the public hearing.
Okay. Any comments or questions from members of council? On the adoption of ordinance O-21-2020, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Ordinance 21-2020 is adopted. Ordinance O-22-2020, an ordinance of the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, state of New Jersey, for compensation for the elected mayor, town council members, and council president in the town of Morristown, New Jersey, and amending all ordinances concerning such compensation heretofore adopted. May I have a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-22-2020.
I'll second.
I'll now open it up to the public for any comments and questions on ordinance O-22-2020.
Council members, I don't see any hands raised for public comment.
We'll close the public hearing.
Okay, any comments or questions from council?
I'll just note again that this ordinance does not include any increase for either the mayor or council.
Okay, thank you. On the adoption of ordinance. Is there something else?
No,
I was kind of being funny.
On the adoption of ordinance O-22-2020, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone,
Yes.
Councilman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
yes.
Ordinance O-22-2020 is adopted. Ordinance number O-23-2020, bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the town of Morristown and the county of Morris, New Jersey, appropriating $2,234,400 therefore, and utilizing the issuance of $2,128,000 in bonds or notes of the town to finance part of the cost thereof. I have a
I'll
motion.
make a motion to adopt ordinance O-23-2020.
I'll second.
Open it up to the public for any comments and questions on ordinance O-23-2020.
Council President, I don't see any hands raised for public comment.
We'll close the public hearing.
Any comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-23-2020, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Ordinance 23-2020 is adopted. There are 5 resolutions on the agenda for adoption this evening. Unless a member of council would like to pull one or more for separate consideration, I would ask for a motion to adopt resolution numbers 114-2020 through 118-2020 en masse.
Can I
I'd
pull
like
one
to pull out,
18. Go ahead,
I'd
Bob.
like to pull out 114.
and 118, please?
118.
114 and 118?
Yes, please.
Okay, I would ask for a motion to approve ordinance numbers 115-2020 through 117-2020 en masse.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Councilman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone,
Yes.
Councilman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution number R-114-2020, resolution authorizing the purchase of certain software, hardware, and peripherals from SHI International Corporation through the state contract. May I have a
Make a
motion
motion to adopt a resolution R-114-2020.
to adopt? Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay. I'm not sure who requested.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, Jillian, I would like to know more about this hardware and software, and I think will be important for this body to have more details, and also for the public, and on the company that is selling that. I know that that's through a state contractor, but I think it's important to know more about all these things that I'm asking.
Resolution 114 is a contract for Spatial Data Logic, which is our interdepartmental software. It's primarily used by the Building and Construction Department, the Health Department, Animal Control, and the Code Enforcement Department. Police uses it as well as Public Works to address community complaints, as does engineering and administration. This is the software that our online complaint system is flowed through. It's also provides the foundational database for all of the property maintenance complaints, all of the permitting processes that happen through the building department and property maintenance, all of the animal control licensing, the health department licensing, all of these departments share the software system. This is an annual contract, which allows for up to 50 seats, and is for a total of $45,000 for the year. This is a renewal. We've had this software, I think, for about 4 years now, and it works very well for us.
Is the same company every year?
Yes.
Any other questions? No? Call the question.
On the adoption of resolution 114-2020, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Armington.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R-118-2020, resolution authorizing the lease of up to 140 parking spaces on a month-to-month basis at 200 South Street, Morristown, New Jersey.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution R-118-2020.
I'll second.
I'm not sure if the council.
Council, I'd like to ask, is this we do this every year? This is the same number of parking spots that we've approved year to year?
Yes, we do this, I think, every 3 years. This is a lease that's for the office building that faces Elm Street, the medical office building. They lease reserved spaces in the back. If you're facing from the building, it's the back left behind where the police department parks.
Is this
spaces in the back.
I'm sorry, do we lease only the 140 spots or do we lease more than 140?
No, we do not lease more than 140.
Okay. And do they go out for public bid? How is it done?
Yes, this is a public bid. The bid is advertised through the newspaper and through all of the various electronic format that we typically advertise. And there'll be a formal bid opening, which is scheduled for September 1st, 10 o'clock.
Okay. Second question, is there any thought in the future to possibly beautifying that parking lot? It's kind of asphalt, and it's all asphalt, and it's not in the best of shape. Is there any idea of what we can do to kind of break it up, put some greenery in there, maybe even give some consideration to a linear park along Franklin Avenue?
Well, I know that the planting that's in the back now was done as part of a beautification project that was done many years ago. It predates me, so I don't have a lot of detail. But I know that was something that was done as part of, I think it's called like the Healing Park or something like that. I know Marge referred that to her in her memo. We can certainly look at doing some additional beautification of that.
Yeah, the thought is to maybe widen that, make it more of a park rather than just a buffer, so to speak, between the street and the municipal lot. But also the lot itself, it's kind of a sea of asphalt. And it's in pretty bad shape. Is there any consideration to renovating that park, maybe in the future as part of our capital plan?
Yes. Yes, we'll absolutely consider that.
All right.
I just have a couple questions. How do we enforce? Do we I assume the 140 spaces or the people who lease spaces get a permit and.
There's reserved spaces. It's marked reserved on the ground, and there's signs that say reserved. The Medical Arts Building issues permits to their employees that are assigned spaces in that building, and they manage it through their.
And who enforces the parking?
That's enforced through the leaseholder.
Okay, so if there was someone else who parked outside of those areas overnight, who would know about it, or who would issue a citation? Or I assume the parking authority doesn't go into our lot.
No, they do not enforce. If there's ever an issue in the back lot, the police department will address it. But the back parking lot is otherwise a public parking area.
I have a question. I noticed that we lease them out in blocks of minimum of 10 spaces. What would happen if an individual person, say, that lives in a house on Franklin wanted to rent out one spot? That's not an option?
Not as part of this lease. That's something we could consider at another time, but that's not part of this lease agreement, this lease that's being advertised.
Okay. How many total spots are back there that we have 140 spare? A lot?
It's a big lot. I don't know the number off the top of my head. I would have to look, but it's a sizable lot.
I didn't realize there was that many spots. Thank you.
It's a big area. You're welcome.
Call the question.
On the adoption of resolution R-118-2020, Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilman Elms,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster,
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mayer,
Yes.
Councilman Silva,
Yes.
Council President Arlington.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. There's no unfinished business. I did previously put something on for new business, but I wanted to have the administration be prepared to talk about it, and I gave them late notice, so they weren't able to prepare. So we'll get that on for the next council meeting. So motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 We're out.
Thanks.
Thank you.
7:59.
Hey.
Thank you all.
It's not a record.
Have a great night.
Oh,
Oh.
don't say that, man.
Good night.
Night,
Good
everyone.
night, everyone. God bless you all.
Good night, Howard.